The message to go has been sent, and there we go. We're going to see both the teams instantly go for the layer rift, then portal up, and then glide down to where the Guardians are.
Now, as I mentioned before, we have seen Meta already in this wing. They did it last week, you know. Do you think they've changed their comp up at all? Do you think they've changed up anything that they did in any of these bosses? Or do you think it's just going to be the exact same?
I think that we're going to be seeing pretty much the same thing from the teams. I don't think you'll see even any differences. As long as they've had consistent practice teammates and they've had the same 10 players, then I would certainly imagine that they will, they'll be using the exact same strategies because those are the ones they've been practicing on, right? And those are the things that will assist them in winning. So SenT, I think, are going to be a little bit slower. They're actually going to the greens here. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting considering they have all 10, people grouped up. You'd think they would just heal through them. I mean, if they're right on top of you, obviously it's probably worth it to stand on it, but moving yourselves away from the boss, slowing down your DPS to grab those greens doesn't really make much sense. It definitely is not going to help you out here. Do you think we're going to see them doing greens on actual Vale Guardian?
Ooh, no, I certainly wouldn't think so. I think that they'll be doing mid-strat as well, but it doesn't seem to have hampered them that much.
Oh,
look at the portal! The portal from Meta, very spicy there.
Guardian.
Very spicy.
And that's exactly what we were talking about before. It looks like we might see a portal coming out here from SenT as well, but they're a little bit behind. Oh, no, actually, we just saw the Mesmer running ahead. Doesn't look like we are going to see the portal. So, Meta moving ahead. They've got ahead. They got a little faster on the pre-event. They portaled in, and SenT actually taking a few seconds to start this boss, swapping some skills around instead of just going straight in. There is a downstate here on Meta side, but should be a pretty easy res.
Yep.
And they're almost at the first phase here for Vale Guardian.
This is such an exciting thing to witness, guys. Like, if you are whatever level of rating you're at, like, that stuff is absolutely so cool to watch. These little min maxes that are gonna make these tiny little divisions between these two teams. Just how smoothly Meta went from the pre-event right into the boss. There was that hesitation from SenT as they didn't have all their players yet. They were swapping maybe some skills or something like that. That just did not happen for Meta, and in the end, they picked themselves up quite a handy lead there.
I don't think they would have swapped a single thing because they portaled straight from the pre-event into Vale Guardian. They probably didn't even get out of combat. So, they either they think that what they had on for the pre-event was good enough, or they took what they needed for Vale Guardian for the pre-event because they were already planning to do it. And, that's something that not every team is going to think about, most likely. So we see SenT just finishing up the first split phase here, and Meta are already ahead. It actually did look like SenT might have caught up a little bit there. They had a pretty good split phase, I'd say. But Meta already going to be under 40% just about on the Vale Guardian boss for the second phase. And they are moving steadily ahead, looking very good in this first boss on Wing 1.
Yep, into the next phase. But yeah, you're absolutely right. SenT did seem to have extremely high DPS, actually, by really destroying and bursting down Vale Guardian very, very quickly there. Yeah.
Do you think it's just better rotations? Do you think that their comp maybe is favoring them a little bit here? Do you think the split possibly might have just been better for them? I don't know. I didn't see how many people they put on the Red Guardian, but I have to imagine it's going to be the same that.
Well, I would say the comps are fairly even overall with regards to the DPS, so I don't think there was really an advantage in terms of like how much DPS they would be putting out. I can only say that they must have had a slightly better split phase, I think, actually. Like, maybe they were able to get a slightly better cleave off actually on those ads, and maybe burst down the Red Guardian a little bit quicker and get those CCs done, because they certainly did seem to gain a little bit of ground, but of course Meta still very, very, very in a good spot here, very good, quite far ahead here, and they're going to be finishing off Vale Guardian in just 8 seconds. Look, look at this portal. They're going to port even further. I love this. I believe that is going to be a portal, going to portal them directly to the next event. Oh, okay, never mind. No, it isn't. Okay.
Oh, well,
no, he was moving to precast this portal instead. Okay. All right, it's kind of... Look, they did a portal, guys, okay? They did a portal, all right?
Yeah, it's the second portal, and, I mean, it might not have given them more than a second or two, but listen, a second or two could be all that matters at the end here. I mean, if SenT are able to get a better spirit run than them, if they're able to just DPS Gorseval faster, if they're able to just... who knows, get to Sabbath quicker than Meta, those extra few seconds are going to be the difference between winning and losing this first round. And you definitely don't want to be losing this first round because, again, that means you'll be going out of loser bracket, and that's never something you want to see.
Oh, no. SenT really are in hot pursuit, though. They're probably only about, 15 seconds behind, I want to say.
No, it's very close. Neither of these groups have messed up really at all, I would say. Again, Meta just... I think finishing the pre-event a little bit quicker in front of Vale Guardian, and again, those portals certainly giving them a couple extra seconds. So it is a very, very close run so far. We're going to have to see who can do Spirit Run better, if there's going to be any difference between the two groups on Gorseval. What swaps do you think we're going to be seeing coming out here in front of Gorseval in regards to comp, or if any?
Well, I think we'll probably see a Renegade, I would imagine. But other than that, I mean, it's pretty much kind of the same old, same old. The Wing 1 is somewhere where you can kind of just get away with the same thing and just to keep playing those really high value. You see those things, guys, at the top of that snowcrows.com website, those big benchmarks, Weaver, Thief. This Wing 1 is a radio goal. You can get away with that very easily.
Now, how do the Deadeyes match up to the Weavers? Because we actually don't see a single Weaver on meta side, but we do see 2 of them and only 1 Deadeye as opposed to the 3 Deadeyes that meta bring on the side.
Deadeye, Deadeye is basically just a better option. It is the...
So why do you think they're opting to bring Weavers then instead of those Deadeye?
It may be just what they have to bring to the table. It may be because that may be the key to their slightly faster split phase, right? On Vale Guardian is that the Ellies bring a lot more cleave right to the table, right? They can hit like really AoE stuff down, or maybe slightly better there, but not that much better really, because of course there's only 2 targets, so the Thieves can kind of hit both of those, but not with their backstabs, I suppose. Yeah. So there is that additional cleave. There is that trade-off. The Weaver is going to bring a bit more of that AoE damage to the table, where the Thief really can't. But of course, I mean, in a burst situation as well, it's certainly worth noting that the burst of Weaver in a short time frame is basically, you know, it's not going to be much of a big deal between a Deadeye and a Weaver, right, in a very short situation, which is like Vale Guardian. In a benchmark, of course, they'll actually typically go on for a fair amount of time, really. But what you need to look at for stuff like Vale Guardian and even Gorseval, really, is that kind of that first 30 seconds, right? That first 30 seconds of DPS, and that's where Weaver has and always will really shine, just because of the nature of the class. Which is why we probably saw those Weaver pickups there.
Obviously, during this pre-event leading up to Gorseval, guys, there's not really too much to look at. It's just going to be some portaling in between these Spirit Rifts closing. Again, we do see meta slightly ahead, maybe 2, possibly even 3 Spirit Rifts ahead. But again, it's not a huge difference. We could I expect we're going to see some cheeky portals coming out from meta on the Spirit Run itself. I would be pretty surprised if we didn't see that as well from SenT, but considering what we've seen so far from it, I'd be very surprised if we didn't see that from at least this group. But again, you know, it's not likely that we're going to really see anything crazy happening on either of those. We do see a couple downstates here for meta, but I don't imagine anyone's going to die.
Not going to be that important.
Yeah, and so it's there's not really much to talk about these events. Obviously, if you're unfamiliar with raiding, all you're doing here is you're bouncing between Spirit Rifts. You don't even really need to kill most of these trash mobs, but obviously you can.
But unfortunately, here, a few downsides have made they're actually forced to lose some time and get those reses. Although it's not really a Thomas, because I believe they will have a portal. Will Deaxxon make it to the portal?
Yeah.
Ooh, there we go.
Was that 2 or is that just 1 portal?
I think it was just one.
I think it was just 1, right? Yeah,
it was just 1. Yeah.
So SenT actually just finishing here, and there's a portal for SenT as well.
Oh,
so we do see them going to be utilizing a portal to get through. A couple swaps coming up from this measure. Make sure he gets in. So yeah, they're very close. They're really only a few seconds behind.
Yeah, that's very
meta.
close.
And so meta, if either group, if meta messes up here at all, if they somehow fail the Spirit Run, if their DPS is not up to par with SenT's on Gorseval, we actually could see SenT overtake meta. So they need to be very confident. They have to be really careful, but at the same time, they can't be too slow either. So here we do see them now just starting the Spirit Run, still a couple seconds ahead, and of course we have to count for delay as well, but a couple seconds ahead of SenT. Going to be taking down the first wall here. SenT just gliding in over meta now, or over the Spirit Run, I should say, to this first rift. And we do see a portal coming out here from meta. Not even going to move from that first wall, straight to the next one.
Yeah, this is, again, one of those events where you can save a little bit of time here. In fact, probably some of the easiest time you can save is just going to be by abusing Portal as hard as you can, right? Like, get that Mimic out there. There are actually, the thing is, you can kind of go crazy on cooldowns in a lot of places in Spirit Vale. This is something that they actually removed in later Raid Wings because they thought it was a bit, maybe like OP or a bit silly. There are a lot of adrenal mushrooms placed about the place in this Raid Wing, and one after Spirit Wood. So you can actually go crazy and really just spam everything and blow all the cooldowns, right? Why is this? Because those adrenal mushrooms, guys, if you have the mastery from Heart of Thorns, when you eat one of those mushrooms, it will refresh all of your cooldowns immediately.
Yeah, absolutely. And we did see a lot of those Mesmers doing that exact thing on the Spirit, or the event before the Spirit Run, when they had to close their Spirit Rifts. They portaled the rest of their team in between the Spirit Rifts, went over to the mushrooms, so they had their portal right back, and did the exact same thing again. And that's really the fastest way, the best way to do that pre-Spirit Run, Spirit Rift closing. But there we go. Meta have finished the Spirit Run. 2 of their players dead, most likely just GGing to get out of combat. I guess swapping rather, I should say. Swapping classes there, as we said we were most likely seeing. And we do see SenT finishing as well. A couple class swaps coming out? No, I don't think we've seen any class swaps coming out from them yet. So maybe they're going to finish this jumping puzzle first.
Well, let's see how they can do. Deaxxon does the jumping puzzle first try. Wow, amazing! Good job by Meta. That
must have been practicing for that.
Well, I mean, it's on, dude. That branch is slippery, dude. Okay, you have got to be careful of that thing. You can fall.
I mean, you could, you get some wrong footing, trip on a twig, slip off the mushroom. I don't know, but here we go. Meta going straight on to Gorseval, and
nice transition.
I don't think we saw any class swaps.
No,
we didn't see any class swaps from them.
No
Renegade for Meta.
Yeah, no.
And I'm looking at SenT's comp, and I don't think we see. Oh, we actually see one of the Deadeyes swapping to Daredevil here. I believe for Meta.
Well, it's because of the big ass hitbox, I think.
Yeah. But again, we're not seeing any Renegades that you predicted, so really not a lot of comp swaps. It looks like we might just see the same comp throughout this entire raid wing, at least up until Sabbatha.
Yep.
But here we go. Again, SenT throughout this entire wing have been a little bit behind, but they're very close. We'll have to see if their DPS can catch up with Meta at all, although Meta are about to start the first phase here, getting Gorseval down to 66%. Now starting to collect or kill these spirits on the side. SenT still a bit behind.
Yeah, once again, when it comes down to like the compositions of these two teams, it is like an execution thing, right? I would say they are very even. Maybe like a slight edge towards Meta's comp here, probably a slightly better comp by abusing all those Deadeyes and Holosmiths. It's very, very strong on this raid wing, but that will probably favor them on Sabbatha as well. Actually, like they're probably running like a lot of Condi Holos as well, so it's going to be really, really good here. And especially, it's going to be very, very strong on Sabbatha as well. So, like, if anything, the composition is slightly in favor of Meta. But, I mean, really not a lot in it in terms of just, like, actual class choices here from either of these teams.
Yeah, and, I mean, I've said it several times, but we still see Meta pulling out ahead a little bit. It doesn't look like SenT are going to be able to really catch up. We see the second phase now coming out on Gorseval here for Meta. SenT about 10% or so behind, I'd say, on the boss health. So, honestly, I think that SenT are going to have to be hoping that Meta are just a little bit slower getting to Sabbatha or a little bit slower on Sabbatha, or possibly we even see a mistake coming out from them, because unless that happens, I don't think that SenT are going to be able to catch up and pass Meta here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it may take a little bit of untidiness, like maybe they miss a bandit or something like that, and this can happen in a high-pressure situation like this, guys. You can very easily miss one of those bandits. And, lose a lot of time there. Like, maybe if a lot of players got egged here, for example, that could be quite unfortunate for Meta. They could lose some players, but of course we don't see any eggs there. It's, obviously, okay. What do you think they're not trash?
They're professional, amateur professionals. Okay, they're not going to get egged here. The fast CC coming out here from Meta, straight DPS, last 10% on Gorseval now, and then they will be heading to the final boss of this wing. And honestly, a very large contrast that we're seeing here between the last match and this match, and obviously nothing to do with the teams. It's the raid wings. We saw several wipes, in fact. From both teams on the last raid wing 5, and literally nothing really bad happening on this raid wing. It's very clean. It's very natural from both these teams. And Meta already having finished Gorseval. SenT actually, it almost looks like they've maybe fallen behind here more than when they were going into Gorseval. They still have 10% left on the boss, and Meta are moving straight ahead onto the bandits. Bottom of the stairs here. I actually think SenT have lost time on this boss.
I definitely think they have. That's where you see, like, as I kind of, I foresaw at the start of this raid, the start of this run, guys. You just see that just like massive damage output of Meta really kind of coming to bear there. Oh, slightly a connection issue with a Deaxxon stream there, unfortunately. Let's hope that. Oh, there we go. It is back. Just a little bit of lag there, but he is back. It was kind of scary there. But yeah, we just see, of course, another portal, a very classic portal that's going to kill all the bandits, then portal up again, and get the job done. Nothing too crazy. Yeah, just exactly what you'd expect.
Wait. Okay, never mind. That was just my stream catching up. I was about to say if SenT actually caught up with them, but SenT are, you know what? I actually don't think SenT are as far behind as I might have thought. They are moving up ahead. We do see the portal, this Mesmer getting ready to portal them up to the next stage. Deaxxon's still lagging a little bit, unless that's just me. But his stream is freezing a bit, so hopefully he's not having connection issues. A DC here would be disastrous for Meta. If we saw Deaxxon, the leader of Meta, DC. I mean, that would definitely put them behind, and that would give SenT the edge that they need to move ahead and win here. So hopefully we're not going to see any disconnect issues on the side of Meta. But again, the stream's still freezing for me. I hope that doesn't, And I got a little insider info here. Deaxxon actually had to restart his router before this match started, so he could have been coming into this with some internet issues. It's not good. And unless this stream is just really behind, we actually do see SenT catching up here, but I don't know.
Well, yeah, that is quite remarkable. I'm not sure exactly what happened. Well, the stream delay is actually dynamically accounted for in the timer, guys. So that's not to be worried about. This is actually this is truly neck and neck here, really. Oh no,
have SenT are going to start the boss before Meta?
Well, I think they may have missed a bandit here. But oh wait, no, wait.
I'm gonna check. I'm gonna see.
No, wait.
Streamers are streaming.
Is this real? How have SenT accelerated it? They had a better time killing those bandits, and they are actually a tiny bit ahead here. Well, wow, very even. Although Deaxxon lagging again. This is not good at all.
Deaxxon has 500 ping on being told. That is not good. And honestly, a very, very strong run from Meta up till the. Yeah. Unfortunately, those internet issues from Deaxxon, and somehow SenT just moving ahead in that pre-event might actually cost them this raid wing. They're falling behind. Sabotha is lower on SenT stream, and no lag issues here from SenT. We're seeing no disconnect at all. There's the first flame wall. We're going to be seeing them pushing up to the first cannon, and I mean, Deaxxon's stream is just still freezing. What's going on?
Guys, it is worth noting. No, guys, the time is not running. Look, if you watch when the stream unfreezes, you will notice that it actually does correct itself, guys. These timers are legitimate. This is actually how it is, guys. When you see Deaxxon's stream unfreeze, you will see the timer snap back, guys, okay? If you see now, it should correct itself in just a moment.
There's Kernan spawning for SenT. I mean, again, we obviously have to keep in mind that maybe we're just behind a little bit with the action stream, but it looks like SenT are in position to win this first round against Meta after being behind the entire raid wing. This is incredible.
That is incredible. Guys, it's going back properly. Don't call rigged. This is legitimate, guys. This is how it works.
I mean, you can see the action lagging. It's nothing to do with it.
Yeah, no, it's not the timer, guys. The timer is correct. It will snap back whenever it unlags. So I'm saying this too much. We're not saying this again. But dude, SenT is really going all out here, actually.
Barreling down. I mean, they're honestly giving it to Sabotha. I feel bad for a little bit here. And they're about to spawn Knuckles in a couple seconds here. The second mini-boss of this event. And we're just seeing Kernan being finished off for Meta, pretty much. If Deaxxon's stream unlags, we'll see it happen. But honestly, unless SenT messes up here,
downstates for SenT, actually. Few downstates.
I don't think we're going to see anything happen. I think SenT are going to take this.
Yeah, this is actually, I can't believe I'm saying this. I mean, I may have cursed Meta here, guys. SenT are actually in a very strong position right now, guys.
Now, we have to keep in mind, again, I mean, thank God that this is not the qualifiers, because if this was the qualifiers for Meta, they would be out if they lost here. They do have a second chance to come back. Obviously, we're going to see them again, even if they lose here. It's double elimination, so we will see them going down to the loser bracket, which is, very fortunate for them. But as I mentioned before, I mean, that's obviously not the way you want to be starting. You don't want to be going to the loser bracket. You want to be moving on ahead to the top bracket with a win in hand. And it looks like SenT are going to be sending them down. And Deaxxon actually, almost got caught there by that flame wall.
Hang on a minute. Wait, guys, we're completely fake news. Like, Deaxxon's stream is, it's glitching out horribly. Like, Deaxxon's stream is actually not catching up at all by the looks of this. Meta actually, they're already on card, in fact. They have lost two players. They've lost 2 players for some reason.
Wow, so we are very far behind.
But they are on card. I don't know how is this so far behind? I don't know what the hell's going on here, actually. I can't really fix this. I will try and do my best, though. Yeah, so this Nova's, it's actually Nova. There you go.
I checked his stream, it wasn't live. But wow, yeah, okay, here we go. 9% for Nova's stream for Sabotha. Meta actually going to be finishing it. Everything we just said in the last few minutes
is
just
pure bullshit.
Completely false.
Yeah, I will.
4%, 3% now on Sabotha. And I mean, I think we can give it to Meta. Even with 2 players dead, they're going to finish ahead. Even with these lag issues, even with Antonio
there you
Jackson,
go. That's it.
Being DDoSed. Meta are your champions.
Yes, Meta have won, guys. I realize it doesn't look like that, okay? I realize it doesn't look like that, but that is in fact the case. Yeah, on Nova's stream they have died. It's pretty awkward. That's not the timer should actually the timer is like snapping back, but it looks like the stream didn't actually correctly refresh or reload. Unfortunately, it's not rigged, guys. It's not pre-recorded either.
No, but they did say done in guild chat as well before SenT said anything, and we saw Nova's stream finish beforehand. Even accounting for delay, they were finished well ahead of SenT in that run. So obviously, unfortunate we had internet issues with Deaxxon's stream, but nonetheless, Meta are going to be the winners of this first match here, or I should say second match of the round of 8. sending SenT down to the losers bracket, but a very good run from SenT. They were only a couple seconds behind the entire run. Very clean from both teams.
Yeah, absolutely. And well, I mean, that means that SenT will go on to face CLL in the lower bracket. Actually, they'll go on to face them.
Are we going to be seeing that today?
Yeah, we will be seeing that today. That will be one of the last matches of the day. And Dungeon Ducks will advance onwards to defeat. To face Soul. Fuck.
Wow. Okay, it's big, boys. You heard it here first.
It's NA team kill, dude. NA team kill. Holy shit. There you go. It's finally happening.
Yeah, we're 2 for 2 in round of 8, boys. I mean,